Hey guys, Trip here, and I've been thinking a lot about Superman lately. And why wouldn't I? He's America's most iconic superhero. He fights for truth, justice, peace. He's a symbol of hope in an unkind world, a role model for us to look up to. But if you saw his latest movies, you might not be so convinced. In the wake of Man of Steel's lukewarm reception and Batman vs. Superman's almost universal panning, an age-old question has come up once again. Can you make a good story out of Superman? Sure, he works as a symbol, but what can you really do with a character who's so perfect and unstoppable? Is he just too powerful and pure to be relatable? Do we have to make him more flawed in order to create a compelling story? Why is Superman such a hard character to work with? Well, let's take a look. All superheroes come with some inherent challenges that need to be overcome in order to create a compelling character. After all, it's kinda hard to make someone who swings on his own body fluids and wears spandex to work relatable. However, Superman has always come with some additional challenges. First off, he's fucking Superman. The name alone has become a byword for something perfect and unstoppable. He's a modern American legend who can solve almost any problem without breaking a sweat. It's hard to make any conflict feel meaningful unless you somehow impose restrictions on him, or otherwise present him with a threat that could believably take him on. Secondly, Clark Kent is a classic Boy Scout. In RPG terms, he's lawful good to the extreme. We know he's always going to do the right thing, we know he's rarely going to make a mistake, and we know he'll stick by his convictions no matter what. As a result, there's not much to be done with the character. At least that's how it seems. So we have these two core problems with Superman as a character. How do we fix them? Well, some would say you need to power him down. Superman didn't start off as the insanely gifted individual we know today. Rather, as more superheroes came on the scene, Superman was given additional powers over the years in order to make him super. This got especially ridiculous during the Silver Age of comics, where Superman was notorious for randomly developing convenient superpowers in order to save the day. Many agree that the Silver Age went a bit too far, but some would argue that Superman needs to be powered down even more. On paper, it sounds great. It solves one of the two core issues outright, making Superman a more vulnerable character who might not be able to solve everyone's problems. But at the same time, you lose the massive responsibility and unique position that Superman holds in the world if you make him just like any other hero. Superman, in my opinion, is at his best when they embrace the fact that he's pretty much a god. Whenever they focus on the idea of a random person discovering he has that much power, and the moral responsibility that comes with it, Superman works for me. I remember a comic where Superman walks up to a guy and sort of breaks down. He tells the guy he has cancer, he can see the tumor inside of him, and confesses that he could probably heal him with his heat vision. He tells the man that if he heals him, then it will suddenly be his responsibility to cure everyone's cancer in the world, that people will be lining up to get healed nonstop, and he's not sure if he can handle that on top of his responsibility as a superhero. These are the sorts of dilemmas that make Superman an interesting character. I hate when comics cop out and underpower Superman in order to make him more human and relatable, and to put him in more dangerous situations. I really do think you can make a good story out of Superman if you place the stakes on the people he has to protect and the philosophical issues that arise when you have a living god working as a journalist. There are also those who say you should make Superman less of a Boy Scout. If you can't make him less powerful, then you should at least make him a bit more flawed. This philosophy has been adopted several times throughout the character's history. However, whenever this has been done, it's been met with mixed reviews. There have been numerous complaints about the latest version of Superman, who is portrayed as more of an arrogant vigilante than the traditional good guy we've come to know. So is there a solution? Will people just complain no matter how he acts? Well, in order to find a solution, we may need to look to another comic book company. Captain America is a hero with a similar personality as Superman. He's kind, pure, honorable, and always wants to do the right thing. Many people say that in the comics, the Captain can be a bit boring. But in the movies? I don't know if I'm the only one, but I love the live-action Captain America. They didn't have to change his personality to make him interesting. If anything, they increased his naive goody-two-shoes mentality to the point of comedy. This is a 98-year-old man in the body of a 30-year-old, and it shows in every line he has. He's come from an age where morals were simple, where people didn't complicate things, where the good guy and the bad guy were always obvious. You can tell how he struggles to maintain his moral convictions in a world he doesn't understand, but he's always willing to grow and adapt as a person. He's at his best when his morals are challenged, when he's forced to reconsider whose side he's really on. This is why Winter Soldier worked so well for me. I actually gave a shit about Captain America and his struggles. They didn't have to change his personality to do that. They certainly didn't have to make everything dark and brooding like some other movies. I bring this up because I honestly think Superman can be a good character without changing his personality. You simply have to put him in the right situations. Present him with the right conflicts, and don't be afraid of being a little silly sometimes. These solutions are easier said than done, but given the amount of enthusiasm, effort, and sheer talent put into superhero movies these days, it's a shame we haven't seen that same amount of effort put into the most well-known superhero of all time. So why did I decide to talk about this? Well, for better or worse, Superman is an inescapable part of our culture, and I think he deserves better treatment as a character. He represents everything good about society. He's a rare symbol of optimism in a world that's become so complicated and divided. If anything, Superman is more relevant now than he's ever been. You can make an incredible story out of this character if you focus on the right things and aren't afraid of embracing what made him such an iconic symbol in the first place. But hey, that's just my opinion. So how would you improve Superman? Let us know in the comments. Hit that like button, be sure to subscribe, and share this video on social media. Want more Psychotrip? Head on over to my Patreon. Every dollar you donate helps me get more videos out at a faster pace. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.